Hey, what's up, friends? You got Gypsy back here today. Today I'm bringing you the CFA finals for Season 2. We've made it to the finals yet again, and I want to say this match is very late going up. There is a good reason for that, though. My opponent, Joost, and I actually played our finals match about a week and a few days ago, um, and we actually did a different finals match, um, and we played it out. It was a fairly close match towards the end point, in which my opponent missed a Will-O-Wisp on my Lopunny, which would have put him in a pretty great position to potentially win the game. And, as a result, he did lose the match, and he was pretty upset. And, I understand his frustration. So I suggested that we replay the match. We build different teams and we redo the finals match because it doesn't mean enough to me to just I'm not that petty. This dude is a friend of mine, and I'd rather us replay it and have a good clean finals match than him be upset naturally over a pretty hacksy finals match. So we did agree to do that. So we have built different teams, and we are coming back to face once again. And I'll give a quick rundown of the team that I've brought today. Joost's roster he's drafted a really good team, and we actually played him earlier on in the season, and we did catch a loss to his team because of it was an interesting game. I'll let you guys go and watch it. It's on my CFA Season 2 playlist if you want to go and see it. But basically, yeah, his team is very, very difficult for mine to prepare against. He has really good checks to every single mon on my team, essentially. Stuff like Shaman is a huge roadblock to Lopunny because a defensive set just eats up hits from Lopunny. And, he's got Empoleon for Manaphy, he's got Kyurem and Raikou for Manaphy. And he's got Mega Gallade, which is also a really nice Lopunny check, Mega Lopunny check. He's got Scolipede, which is a massive threat. He's got Kyurem Black on his roster, as I said. And he's got stuff like Sandslash. Yeah, he has a really, really good team. So props to Juice for drafting such a good team. But this really meant that I had to build quite strangely this week, as I said, we did already play our first match, and because we built different teams, I had to get even a bit more creative with my sets so as to not bring exactly the same thing as I did in the first time we played the finals. So a quick rundown of what I've brought. First up, I have Air Balloon Drill. I'm rocking Stealth Rocks, Sandstorm, EQ, and Ironhead. This set basically allows me to beat a weakened Kyurem with Earth Power, like a special variant, or any variant really. Nothing Kyurem has can touch Air Balloon Drill. If it's a little bit whittled, it'll die to an Ironhead. It also allows me to beat a Scolipede running EQ. It allows me to beat the Sandslash, which could really put in work versus my team. It allows me to set up rocks safely versus a few mons on his team, and with the potential of Sandstorm, I am running Sand Rush. So if we're in a situation late game where it's Excadrill versus a level Kyurem, I can set up the sand before he pops my balloon, get the sand up, and then potentially sweep his team if it's whittled enough. As my +2 Excadrill outspeeds a +1 Scolipede after a speed boost. That is very nice. Then we have Lopunny, which is an Adamant Lopunny this week, rocking a pretty interesting moveset. I'm rocking Substitute, Encore, High Jump, Kick, and Return. So this set is basically designed to kind of cripple the Shaman, in the sense that Shaman has typically been a roadblock to Lopunny in all the matches that Joost and I have played together. He's typically brought a defensive Shaman, as well as a defensive Jealous in our original finals match. And the kind of idea behind this is that Substitute allows me to block stuff like Leech Seed, which he likes to bring on his Shaman, and then I can Encore him. If I can Encore him into a recovery move like Leech Seed or Synthesis, I can force the switch out and get big damage off something whilst staying behind a sub. So that is the kind of general idea with Lopunny. Next up we have Ban Metagross, and I have Trick on this Metagross to cripple potential switch-ins such as Jealous and Shaman. However, that is very situational. I have Bullet Punch for priority versus Mega Gallade. Banded Bullet Punch is very strong versus his team, barring the Shaman obviously. And I have Hammer Arm to Oko the Empoleon, barring a Chopper variant. And I have Zen Headbutt for coverage against stuff like Shaman and Scolipede and Raikou as well. It does huge damage with the Choice Band. So that is the idea behind Metagross. Then we have an Expert Belt Manaphy. a pretty offensive set with quite a lot of bulk, enough speed to outspeed the Kyurem, max speed Kyurem. I don't expect max speed Shaman because that is his answer to Lopunny, so it's in his best interest to run defensive. And I'm not outspeeding anything else on his team that I really need to. Next up we have a defensive Nidoqueen. I'm actually running a Poison Point Rocky Helmet set. It's the same set I brought to our original finals match. The idea behind this is that Mega Gallade is just such a massive threat to my team. If I can whittle it down with the combination of Rocky Helmet plus potential Poison Point damage, I can put him in range to go down to Lopunny's return. As I am adamant, return does upwards of 70%, 78%, something around that mark. And yeah, Nidoqueen is pretty nice for doing that. Mega Gallade kind of suffers move slot syndrome, the 4 move slot syndrome, in the sense that I have Aromatisse on my team. So he might want to carry poison coverage for that. I've got Reuniclus, so he might want to carry knockoff. I've got obviously Nidoqueen, so Zen Headbutt, and obviously he wants Fighting Stab for the rest of my team. But he's shown that he likes to run Bulk Up on his Mega Gallade in the past, so if he does run Bulk Up, then he's losing coverage on one of the mons on my team. So even if he does bring Zen Headbutt, Nidoqueen eats one, as I am defensive. And it takes at least 2 hits to knock me out if he does bring Zen Headbutt, which gives me 2 30% options, chances to actually poison him, and 2 times of Stealth Rocky Helmet damage on the Gallade. So that is pretty nice. I'm also rocking the Stealth Rocks and the Toxic Spikes, as Stealth Rocks on his team is very nice. If I can chip it down and put it in range for Lopunny and Ursaring, then we'll be in a better position. Then lastly we have the Village Crusher himself, Ursaring. I'm rocking a Toxic Orb set this week with Swords Dance Beside, Close Combat, and Crunch. This Ursaring really puts a hurting on his team. It really pressures his team to the point where Lopunny can potentially clean up that game. Now you may be wondering, like, why would I run Quick Feet versus mons with base 110s and base 115s? Well, I don't expect him to run max speed on stuff like Mega Gallade. I expect him to speed creep max speed Manaphy, and that's it. I have shown that I've run like a Guts Trick Room variant in the past with Ursaring. He may fear that again, or he may just fear Guts for its sheer breaking power versus his team. Yeah, I don't expect him to plan for max speed Toxic Orb, Quick Feet Ursaring, and I don't expect the Raikou to be speed creeping it either. I expect his faster mons to be creeping my base 100s and running bulk with the leftover EVs. So I'm expecting Ursaring to put in some work. If I can just find an option to set up an SD, then we'll be looking pretty good. But let's just jump into the match. I decided to lead off with Metagross, as it typically has. If he leads off with his Empoleon, I can potentially nab a first turn kill with a banded Hammer Arm. And that's, as I said, a Chople variant. But even if he is a Chople variant, I weaken him for my Tail Glow Manaphy, which is huge. Manaphy, by the way, is Tail Glow, HB Electric, Ice Beam, and Dazzling Gleam. Dazzling Gleam needed for the Kyurem Black, of course. So we're going to jump into the match. I lead off with Metagross. He leads off with his Meloetta. Now, Meloetta is an interesting lead. I do just stand and go for the Hammer Arm because I want damage on this thing. If it is a setup variant, then I will 2-hit KO it. As he just fires off a Shadow Ball, and that does a lot of damage. So this is actually max special attack, for sure, as I am max HP. So I'm just going to switch out here, preserve my Metagross, because you never know when the Bullet Punch is going to come in handy versus his team. Now I go into Manaphy here, not wanting to make the ballsy switch into my Ursaring, as Focus Blast was pretty obvious there. It took out Metagross at that range. Obviously Ursaring resists the Shadow Ball, or is immune to the Shadow Ball rather, and I would be able to outspeed this Meloetta next turn and fire off a Facade, as the Toxic Orb would proc on the turn I switched in. So I wasn't going to risk him Focus Blasting there, so I just go into my Manaphy, who I know can eat it up. He actually crits me here, which is really unfortunate, but we're going to get a crit of our own in this turn, which really does make up for it, as we get the 42% off on the Raikou. That is really nice, putting it in range data Lopunny now. Both unfortunate crits on both sides, but they do balance each other out. I would have loved to have more health from this Manaphy, as you guys are going to see later on. But now we just switch out. We go out into our Nidoqueen as he makes the double into his Empoleon, so nice play on his part. I'm just going to go out to my Manaphy here. I don't expect him to go for the Stealth Rocks. I expect him to attack my Nidoqueen directly, as it is a big threat to his team. So we switch into Manaphy and we get burned. So that sucks. I'm not going to set up a Tail Glow here. I'm just going to fire off an HP Electric. as he goes for the knockoff here. So we would have lived another and being able to get another HP electric off, or even tail glowed up first turn with Empoleon had we knockoff burnt. But it is what it is. I'm just going to go into my Lopunny here and click high jump kick as he switches out to his Shaman, and he reveals to be Rocky Helmet, which is a bit annoying. It's a bit more annoying than the lefties variant, but it's a very good bring on Joost's part, so I can understand that. I'm just going to substitute here as he does synthesis up. Now I choose the Encore here, which puts him in a bit of a tricky situation as he only has 6 synthesis left after this turn, so his form of recovery is getting whittled down. I don't expect him to stay in here. So I did just click return as he does actually go out into Encore this turn. Sorry. So now he's wasted 3 syntheses and he's only got 5 left, which means that his ability to check Lopunny is becoming, you know, a lot harder as he loses more of his recovery. So this turn I don't expect him to stay in, as I have shown. I'm pretty adamant to just keep stalling after his synthesis while not attacking, so I am just going to click return here as he does make the switch out to his Scolipede, which is one of the biggest threats on his team, and we get a nice 83% off, so that is huge. That means the rest of my ones have a far easier time. Ursaring is looking a lot more threatening now as this speed boosting monster won't be able to check it. I have no reason not to attack this Scolipede. He could have doubled back into Shaman just to get more Rocky Helmet damage off of me. But I felt as though he would stay in an attack, and just to break my sub, as he does protect here. And he just breaks my sub here, which is fine, and he reveals to be a Life Orb variant, so we do take out the Scolipede, so that is one of the biggest threats of my team out of the way. So I'm just going to switch out now and go into my Excadrill. I did expect him to attack here, like there wasn't any reason to stay with Lopunny. Like I could have substituted and he could have potentially lead sheared, but the fact that I'd already shown sub meant that I feel as though he'd play a bit more aggressively there. I know this Excadrill outspeeds this Shaman, and I was pretty happy to sack it here as long as I got my Stealth Rocks up. I do have Nidoqueen to handle the Raikou as well as Lopunny at the range of health it's at, so I didn't really need to get my Excadrill around too much. It was dying to Mega Gallade. It wasn't really doing much to the rest of his team. I do feel like Empoleon was probably a Sugar Berry variant, so I was pretty okay with it going down there, as I do have Metagross to beat the Empoleon and as well as the Lopunny. So right here, Ursaring's in on the Shaman. I know he's a defensive variant, so judging by the damage rolls I was getting versus him with Lopunny, so I know that Ursaring can pretty comfortably set up an SD here, even if he goes for the Seed Flare and gets a special defense drop. A +2 Facade will put him in guaranteed range to die to Lopunny, so I'm just going to set up an SD here as he actually switches out, goes out to his Raikou. And you guys are going to see Ursaring starts to put in the work here. So we do outspeed, confirming my suspicion that he would creep my base 100s only. And Ursaring gets his first kill. In comes the Empoleon. Now return is a roll here. The roll is between like mid 50s and mid 60s to kill. And we do get the roll. We get the crit, so we get a critical hit there. Which may or may not have mattered. He was max defense, he told me, but the calc revealed that was a kind of like a mid to high roll. So we do get that roll, but you guys are going to see right here. It is a roll to take out Shaman. It is in my favor to take out Shaman, and we miss out on that roll as we do, and as he's left with 1%. So that is justice, I suppose, for the crit. So you know, neither of us can really complain because I got a potential, like, I crit, but it could have been a potential high roll for me on Empoleon, and then I got the low roll on Shaman, and had I not got the low roll on Shaman, Ursaring would have swept his team. So you know, we're getting rolls for rolls essentially, which we're both fine with. As now Lopunny comes in, and I'm just going to fire for a return, as he has no reason to switch out, as he would just die upon entry to Stealth Rocks. So now I'm going to switch out to my Nidoqueen, my switch into this Gallade, and I'm just going to click Zen Headbutt. He's going to click Zen Headbutt, and he takes that clean Rocky Helmet damage. Right here, I'm just going to go for the Roar in case he wants to bulk up, thinking he can set up on this Nidoqueen. As he just fires off a Drain Punch. Now he expected this Drain Punch to kill. I suppose he made an error in his calcing because the Zen Headbutt damage revealed that I was max defensive, but he told me that his calcs said it would kill, but it was an error in his calcing, so that was unfortunate. It wouldn't really have made too much of a difference had he Zen Headbutted me there. Then he would have been in range to start a Lopunny. So it's you know, he did get health back with the Drain Punch though, so that's kind of nice for him, I guess. So I'm just going to go for the Raw here. So now he's going to be he's at 72% now, and after the chip damage from Stealth Rocks, he's going to be at about 66%, so we will be in range to die to Lopunny. He's just going to get Rawed out into his Meloetta here. As I'm going to sack off my Nidoqueen, I don't have any reason to keep it around. As the only way I have of really damaging a setup variant of Mega Gallade is Raw, as I just Raw it out. I do have Super Fang on it, but I didn't want to risk him boosting up on my Nidoqueen. I was better off sacking Nidoqueen, leaving Lopunny to outspeed Mega Gallade and Bullet Punch priority from Banner Metagross to clean it up if for some reason Lopunny can't take it out. So I'm just going to fire for a return here. And this leaves Gallade, and as I said, even if for some reason he's somehow max defense, and I'm not able to take him out, he lives with the Slither, and he goes for Drain Punch, he won't get enough health back to be able to live a banded Bullet Punch from Metagross, so Return is my play 100% here, as we are able to take him out from that range, revealing that he was most likely speed creeping my base 100s with the rest in health. I think he only needed like, he could afford like 80 EVs in health or something like that, so he was going to go down to Lopunny there, so there we have it. Good game, Joost. I hope you're happier with our second match than you were with our first. I know that it definitely taints a match when it's filled with hacks, and like I 100% agree. So I was happy to see that this match came across pretty evenly with regards to hacks on both sides. So there we have it, guys. We are the Season 2 champions. I really enjoyed the season. It was quite different to the first season. It was a lot. I don't want to say it was a bit more competitive. I feel as though the players really lifted their game, and we did. Unfortunately, we didn't quite reach our differential aim of last season. I believe we were 35 last season. This season we are 8-1 with a 30+30 differential. So still pretty solid, but we didn't quite beat our record from last season, but that's okay. I'm still pretty happy with the way I performed this season, and we can always try and break it next season in Season 3, which is coming right up very shortly. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Drop a like if you did. Let me know what you thought of the team in the match. Any comments on my season as a whole. I'm interested to see what you guys think about the CFA. It is a really fun league, and it is far more competitive than you might think. A lot of these guys, Joost and Paul, are in the CPC with me, and they're fantastic players in their own right. Having knocked out top MPL players themselves, so they are very good players, and we have even more talent joining us for Season 3 in the CFA. Or so I've been told. So that is something for another video for sure. But I hope you guys enjoyed. This is the last time you'll be seeing my CFA Season 2 team. But I hope you guys enjoyed watching it put in the work. The Lopunny Manaphy God Squad probably won't be able to be drafted for quite a while, because the likelihood of getting a draft like this again is pretty low, but we'll see what we can do next season. Should be able to draft something pretty fun that you guys will be pretty happy with. So without further ado, I'm going to get out of here, and thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you have a good day, and I will see you next time.